What's going on? Hey KG. So I'm gonna be doing my reflection 10. So for this assignment, we're supposed to be going over, reflecting on what we learned in your class and consider the assignments that we did, the projects that we did in class, outside of class, the curriculum over the class, any insight throughout the semester, and then consider of yourself as an entrepreneur, and like the certain soft skills that you develop in this class over the course of the whole semester. And then you also want us to reflect on our work in the class, evaluate your quality of work and your attendance and your engagement. So I want to tackle the first thing, which is probably what you learned of the course. I think going into this course, I was going in just expecting to learn about entrepreneurship as a whole, get a better understanding about how to run a business in general. And I already had a little bit of insight of what entrepreneurship entails, just because a handful of my family members are entrepreneurs, and so I only heard that word around them, and I never really truly understood the understanding of it. I knew what it took to be an entrepreneur, but now I do know. Like, now that I've taken your course, I've come to understand it's a lot more than I anticipated, than I would have ever thought. I knew you needed a business plan, but I didn't know to what scale and how many things you need, more than I even ever thought I would ever need. I think listening to all of the people that you talked about, it was the guy at the beginning semester that had his barbecue company that really took off. And then he's now not settled, but he's doing well for himself. And that's something that really just, wow, you can really start something in college like he did, not knowing anything about what you're doing, but you said, you know what, I like it, I want to pursue it, let's do it. And that's something that really was cool to me, how you knew people like that, and it's something that reflected greatly to me. It appealed to me in a greater sense. The projects, I did enjoy the projects that we were given, like the failure projects. I did enjoy doing that because it got me to be engaged way more than a lot of my other classes did. And so with doing that, I actually had to put in effort and show that I did it. And not just that, but it made me think on my feet and think more towards what I'm going to be doing in life. Like, these are real things that are going to, the real life situations I'm going to be put in. And so to be put into that realm now of just showing that, like, hey, there is going to be failure and you're going to have to somehow overcome that or get something out of it. Get something out of it where what you already put in it. That somewhat makes sense, but not really, I think. But you have to put effort into what you're doing. It's like what we did with the walking project, where you had to go around campus, see something, and come up with a job or an idea for that. That's something where you had to use thinking. Yes, it was simple, but you had to come up with a list, and you said 50 for the first items, and then come up with jobs, and you decided to put 100. And that was something that was reassuring to me. That was, hey, we want you, you want me to be engaged, you want me to be thrown into this. Not, I didn't know what I was doing, but I slowly come to understand why you made us do it. And it was really honestly helpful overall. Trying not to get sidetracked here. I liked how we were able to, if we want curriculum as a whole, I feel like you touched upon everything I wanted to go through. There were some parts that I already knew, but that was a small, maybe 15% that I already knew. Everything else was like new to me, and I'm grateful that I learned it. It really, like, the different types of, not managing, but what is it? Different types of business models, the stuff that you need for a team, and boards, as well as networking. And I think the biggest takeaway I can get is like using your network, because I've always been afraid to reach out to a lot of people just because I don't know how they're gonna react. And so, like, you telling us and forcing us to, like, hey, mingle with everybody, like, that many of my classes do that. I don't. Some of my lectures I sit in, I listen to the professor talk, and that's it. That's all I do. But with this class, I'm more engaged and more prone to be active, and I'm encouraged to do that, which I'm very happy about. And as an entrepreneur as a whole, I can honestly say I've developed a lot more. I've developed my networking skills a little bit more by taking this course, and I know, like, how to talk to people a little bit better in the business side, and to be very upfront and very, not firm, but very confident in what I'm asking, and just to ask it bluntly, but not just go straight forward to that person and just say, hey, I want this, but can go into a conversation and then slowly just put in, like, hey, this is my input on this, and then I also want this to happen, or I want this for myself, in a sense. I hope that makes sense. Makes sense to me. I hope it does. But now, more than ever, I think I have grown a lot from this class. I truly have. Presenting, I haven't done it yet, but I will. On Wednesday, I will. Hope you're going to enjoy that. That's for topic for another thing. But I feel like I've gotten to know a lot more my classmates than I would have if you weren't so interactive with everybody. And to me, that's the learning style that I like a lot better, just because it forces you to get out of your comfort zone, and that's something I've been forced to do, having to come here from all the way from Texas. So that's something I've been doing kind of my whole time that I've been here. So having that was really nice to have that, rather than just sitting in a lecture, listening, and then given assignments to just do, and then one project, and then that's it. I prefer this method a lot better. Your teaching style. Let's see. My work that I did in this class, I can say I felt like I could have been better with my work intake, with my reflections. That's something that was on me. I forgot at times, because to me I just genuinely forgot that they were due. But the ones that I did, and the ones I participated in, it made me an active thinker, and made me want to reevaluate how I think about certain things in life. Not just in life, but as a business and as a future entrepreneur. It made me rethink and reroute how I was navigating the business world, instead of thinking one way, be like, oh, see if this person has a connection there, or maybe see if someone else has a connection there. Someone else that I've networked with. Because ultimately that was one of my key takeaways. I would say my quality of my work, I feel like I did, when I turned in my assignments, I gave the best I had, and I wanted to actually mean something. Like you said to me, or a rule of thumb that I've kind of taken from you, that I've kind of modded into my own life, is I'd rather send in work that I care about and that looks good and that's going to represent me, and rather than send in something that I just put together in 10 minutes and just said, you know what, this is it. This is all I got. And it just looked like complete garbage. Because I'd rather give quality work than quantity of work, but still I still need to do my work regardless. because I put a lot of effort into getting the business model analysis I did. There's a little places where I lacked, and that was, you noted that, and so that tells me that I need to keep reevaluating myself and where I stand from a student standpoint, and how I have to go back and reflect, look back where I failed, and then do better, be better from that. My attendance, I feel like I was pretty attentive. I think I only missed like 1 or 2 classes, so I feel like I was there every day, showing up to my damn life, as you put it pretty bluntly. A lot of days. I feel like I wanted to be very active in participating in this class. I would say I'm very active because I showed up and I did want to learn. I did, and I truly enjoy your teachings. I like the way you teach the course and the course before that, and you're very understanding to different things, and you're open to having a conversation rather than just speaking like to the broad audience. And you ask questions, and you make us ask questions, if not make, but like you encourage. But I felt like I participated a decent amount through there, just because I wanted to get something out of it. I didn't want to just sit in a class and not do much. And your class really allowed me to grow. It allowed me to grow a lot. Let's see. I think that's all. I think I've pretty much covered everything. I think I have, but if I haven't, just to do an overview, I just talked about what I learned in this course, the curriculum, consider your growth as an entrepreneur. I already did that, I think, and then presenting networking and other experiences you've had. Yeah, that's pretty much. And then reflect on your work in the class, evaluate quality of work and your attendance and engagement and participation. Overall, I think as a student, I did pretty well. I wanted to present myself as that way. I hope I did. And let's see. Consider your growth as an entrepreneur. Covered that. And then I think that's pretty much it. But overall, this class has really taught me to be to listen a lot more to what people, not listen, but to be able to be engaged with more people than I realized, because I met new people. Like, sure, there's still a handful of people I still haven't met in that class, but there's still people I go outside today. I still see them from class. They still point me out. They're like, "Hey, no," and I'm like, "What's up?" Like Isaiah, I see Isaiah time to time. Still talk to Tad. Another good resource or someone that I could add to my network is Meredith. Holy cow, she has a plethora of things that she's in that I did not realize you could be a part of sometimes. So I think networking has been the biggest thing from that. And you've told me, from what I've learned from you, is that to know your network and to be able to utilize that in a business perspective, from a business point of view, to utilize it. Because there's so many people that we all know, and that we need to be aware that we have in our corner, in a sense. And so it's important just to know that, because your network is a very powerful group of people, more than we tend to realize. So, but yeah, and that's pretty much, I think that's all I have to say for Reflection 10. Thank you so much.